Welcome to Metaskin Façade. We don't just know facades, we define them. This platform is dedicated to the art and science of building envelopes and architectural skins. With over 2 decades of hands-on experience, we bring you practical insights, technical expertise, and the latest innovations in facade design and execution. This is Chapter 1, Definition and Evolution of Facade. We don't just know facades, we define them. We are bridging the education gap with fortnightly deep dives into core principles, material choices, structural systems, installation techniques, and cutting-edge design solutions. This is a professional community for architects, engineers, contractors, and anyone passionate about building exteriors. This channel will be your go-to resource to learn, discuss, and master the craft of facades. We are filling the gap where only a handful of institutes worldwide offer dedicated facade education. Join us on this journey as we redefine how facades are understood, designed, and celebrated, because every building's face tells its story. We empower professionals to excel and inspire the next generation of facade specialists by redefining facade understanding. This is Episode 1, Introduction to Facades. We'll cover the definition of facades, exploring what truly defines a facade and its significance in modern architecture. We'll also trace the evolution of facades from classical stone and timber exteriors to today's glass, metal, and composite skins. This episode lays the foundation for everything to come, helping everyone understand how facades have transformed from being mere barriers to becoming intelligent building envelopes that shape comfort, performance, and identity. What is a facade? A facade is the external, non-load-bearing skin of a building that acts as a protective interface between the interior spaces and the external environment. Beyond its functional role of resisting wind, rain, heat, sound, and other environmental forces, the facade also serves as the architectural expression and identity of the structure. This barrier is known as the facade. Why we write facade? The word façade, with the cedilla under the C, comes from French and literally means front face. The cedilla is a small mark placed under the letter C to change its sound from a hard to a soft S when it appears before a, O, or U. In English, both spellings, façade without cedilla and façade with cedilla are correct. The difference is one of style and choice. We chose to keep the cedilla as a mark of authenticity, precision, and respect for architectural language. In our brand identity, façade with the cedilla represents craft, depth, and originality. Pronounced façade, not facade. This is a pronunciation guide. Facades hold significant value in modern architecture. They provide aesthetic identity and branding. A facade is the visual identity of a building, the first impression that defines its character. In commercial architecture, facades act as branding elements, making structures iconic like the Burj Khalifa or Louvre Pyramid. They balance creativity and context, reflecting culture, environment, and architectural vision. Environmental performance: facades regulate heat, light, sound, and air, acting as filters between the external environment and the interior. High-performance facades improve energy efficiency by reducing cooling and heating loads. Integration of solar panels, shading systems, and green walls transforms facades into sustainable energy assets. Comfort and well-being: by controlling daylight, ventilation, acoustics, and thermal performance, facades create healthy, comfortable indoor environments that improve occupant productivity and mood. Facades provide safety and protection. Facades shield interiors from wind, rain, dust, fire, and physical impacts. Modern facades incorporate fire-resistant materials, blast protection, and climate resilience. Technological integration. Modern facades are increasingly smart and adaptive, integrating sensors, kinetic elements, shading devices, and AI-driven controls. They act as dynamic skins responding to changing weather and user needs. Sustainability and green goals. Energy-efficient facades reduce carbon footprint, aligning with global sustainability targets, LEED, BREEAM, GREHA. Green facades contribute to urban biodiversity and improve air quality. In modern architecture, a facade is no longer just a decorative layer, it is a multifunctional, high-performance skin that defines the identity, sustainability, comfort, and safety of a building. The evolution of facades mirrors the journey of civilization itself. The Industrial Revolution unlocked glass and iron, while modernism championed simplicity and function. Today, facades have become smart, sustainable skins that protect, perform, and express identity, the true face of architecture through time. The following sections provide a brief overview of facades across each era, from ancient civilizations to the postmodern age. Facade evolution timeline. 1. Ancient civilizations, stone and timber facades for protection and cultural symbolism. 2. Medieval era, Gothic cathedral fronts. Structure as storytelling with stained glass and sculptures. 3. Renaissance and Baroque, harmony, symmetry, and grandeur. Facades as statements of power and wealth. 4. Industrial Revolution, cast iron plus glass facades. Large openings and urban commercial identity. 5. Modernism, 20th century, form follows function, with curtain walls of glass and steel towers. 6. Contemporary postmodern, 21st century smart and sustainable facades. Dynamic skins combining identity, performance, and technology. Ancient civilizations, Dendera Temple. The facade of the Temple of Hathor at Dendera, Egypt, built during the Ptolemaic period, 125 BCE to 60 CE, exemplifies ancient facade principles. This timeless facade demonstrates how facades have always been symbols, protectors, and storytellers of their time. Dendera Temple, key features. Massive stone construction, built with large sandstone blocks, reflecting early concept of facades as load-bearing, protective walls rather than lightweight skins. Columnar frontage, historic columns integrated into the facade created both structural support and visual rhythm, marking a shift toward expressive architectural elements. Carved stone surfaces, relief carvings and hieroglyphs turned the facade into functional storytelling surfaces, showing evolution from pure structure to cultural communication. Screened opening, stone lattice screens between columns filtered light and air, an early attempt at environmental control through the facade. Symbolic, crown. The cavetto cornice atop the facade unified the structure visually while signaling continuity with earlier Egyptian temples, emphasizing how facades also served as a civilizational signature. Medieval era, Notre Dame Cathedral. Notre Dame Cathedral, Paris, 1163 to 1345, represents a major structural advancement in facade evolution. The western front demonstrates how thick stone walls combined with pointed arches and flying buttresses redistributed loads effectively, allowing integration of large stained glass windows. This marked a shift where the facade functioned not only as an enclosure but as a load-bearing framework that balanced strength, light, and visual expression. Compared to the massive load-bearing stone facade of the Dendera Temple, which relied purely on bulk and solidity, Notre Dame demonstrates a technological leap, using structural innovation to achieve height, openness, and illumination. Notre Dame Cathedral, key features. 01 Load-bearing stone walls, thick masonry walls formed the facade, with construction advancing through pointed arches and ribbed vaulting. 02 Structural expression, the facade carried weight, with flying buttresses transferring loads outward, enabling taller and lighter facades. 03 Ornamental integration, carved portals, statues, and tracery turned the facade into a visual encyclopedia of faith, combining structure and narrative. 04 Stained glass innovation, large rose windows set within stone tracery marked a step toward facades as light filters beyond solid walls. Renaissance and Baroque, Il Gesù. Il Gesù, Rome, 1568 to 1584, marked a shift from Gothic complexity to Renaissance order. The facade became simpler and more unified, a flat stone front arranged with symmetry, classical pilasters, and decorative scrolls, focusing on presenting a clear, ordered architectural face. Il Gesù, Rome, key features. 01 Flat and ordered front, a smooth two-level stone facade, showing a shift from Gothic depth to a controlled surface composition. 02 Strong center focus, the main portal and central bay dominate, an example of hierarchy in facade design. 03 Classical pilasters, tall Corinthian pilasters divide the wall into vertical parts, a system of facade rhythm and proportioning. 04 Curved scrolls, volute scrolls link the tall central nave with lower aisles, a clear tool of facade design and proportion control. 05 Small windows, limited, simple openings, keeping the facade as a wall-dominant surface instead of a glass screen. Industrial Revolution, cast iron innovation. 20 Green Street, Soho, New York, 1870s, represents the industrial era turning point when metal first appeared on building faces. Cast iron made facades lighter, allowed bigger windows, and introduced prefabricated details, a clear step toward modern glass and steel skins. 20 Green Street, key features include prefabricated panels, large glazing areas, urban identity, repetitive ornament, and slim frames. Modernism, 20th century Villa Savoy Revolution. Villa Savoy, 1931, marked the break from industrial cast iron fronts. Modernism stripped away ornament and freed the facade from structure altogether. With curtain walls, steel frames, and pure glass skins, facades became minimalist, transparent, and truly modern. Villa Savoy, key features. A curtain wall innovation, facades became non-load-bearing skins hung from structural frames, separating structure from enclosure. Glass dominance, large uninterrupted glazing defined the facade, maximizing light and transparency. C. Minimalist expression, facades were stripped of decoration, focusing on pure form, clean lines, and functional clarity. D. Steel and reinforced concrete frames allowed facades to be thin, flexible, and independent of structural walls. E. Form follows function principle, facades expressed simplicity and utility rather than ornament or imitation. F. International style identity, facades looked uniform across the globe, emphasizing universality over local tradition. Contemporary/postmodern era, 21st century Emirates Towers. Emirates Towers, Dubai, 2000, represents the postmodern departure from uniform glass boxes. Instead of strict minimalism, facades embraced variety, combining glass, metal, stone, and composites in expressive compositions with advanced curtain wall technology and high-performance glazing. Advances in curtain wall technology, high-performance glazing, and engineered cladding systems allowed facades to achieve greater energy efficiency, identity, and contextual response. This era redefined the facade as both a technical envelope and a cultural statement, moving beyond function to performance-driven design with architectural expression. Emirates Towers, key features. A material diversity, use of glass, steel, aluminum, stone, and composites in a single facade composition. Be expressive design. Facades move beyond uniformity, using bold forms, colors, and symbolic references. See advanced curtain wall systems, engineered units with precise fabrication, higher tolerances, and modular flexibility. D. High-performance glazing. Double/low-E glass and coatings for energy efficiency, solar control, and comfort. E. Cladding innovation, metal panels, composites, and stone. Veneers fixed with engineered systems for lighter facades. F. Technology integration, incorporation of shading devices, digital facades, and smart materials in design. Complete evolution of facade. Ancient, 3000 BCE, 500 CE, with stone and timber facades that provided a defensive barrier plus cultural symbolism. Medieval, 500 to 1500 CE, Gothic cathedrals and fortified facade structure as storytelling with stained glass and ornamentation. Renaissance and Baroque, 1400s, 1700s, harmony, symmetry and grandeur. Facades as civic and political statements of wealth and power. Industrial, 1800s, late 1800s, cast iron plus glass facades for arcades, rail stations, exhibition halls. Larger openings, daylighting, and emergence of urban commercial identity. Modernism, 1880s, mid-20th century, form follows function, principle. Contemporary, 1970s, 21st century, rise of specialist facade companies. Smart, sustainable facades with dynamic skins. Integration of identity, performance, and advanced technology. Father of modern facade, origin and evolution. William Lou Baron Jenney, 1832 to 1907, known as the father of the modern facade, designed the Home Insurance Building, Chicago, 1885, the first structure with a steel frame skeleton and non-load-bearing external facade, giving birth to the curtain wall concept. His innovation allowed walls to become lightweight skins instead of structural elements, a revolutionary shift that made skyscrapers possible. This principle later inspired Mies van der Rohe and Walter Gropius, leading to the modern glass and steel facade era. Key milestones after Jenney, 1920s, 1950s, Mies van der Rohe, refined the aesthetic purity of curtain walls, Seagram Building, 1958. 1959, Pilkington, introduced float glass technology, enabling large and uniform facade glazing. 1970s onwards, Perma-Stilisa, globalized facade engineering, integrating design, performance, and fabrication, laying the foundation for today's high-performance building envelopes. From Jenney's steel skeleton to today's intelligent facades, the journey reflects a century of evolution from load-bearing masonry to dynamic architectural skins. What's next? After exploring the definition and evolution of facades in Episode 1, our next episode will focus on the fundamentals of facade design, the importance of orientation, with a case study approach. We'll examine their advantages, limitations, and typical applications, helping you understand how architects and engineers select the right system for each project. Join the conversation, share your feedback, questions, or topic suggestions in the comments. Your input will help shape upcoming episodes. Orientation defines performance. Every degree matters, because the sun never negotiates. Thank you. Every surface tells a story. We just need to listen with engineering.